You are now watching Aegislash, the best place to learn about competitive Pokemon TCG. Let's get it! Yo, what's poppin' YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Aegislash here. Word up! Today we are going to be covering over ADP Moltres. Now this deck has absolutely jumped onto the scene, has been winning events, placing highly, and most recently it came second, a variant of it, with Shintaro Ito coming second at the Chill TCG event. Now, it's one of those things where did this deck really come from? What's going on with this deck? Etc, etc. You're in the right place. I'm going to let you know exactly what's going on. I also have my own unique build that my fiance, Michelle Babin, was able to make top 8 with at that same event. So, very proven deck, very good deck, and we'll explain it all here in this video. Check the description below for the list so you could copy and paste it, look at it while you're watching this video, and check out some of the sponsors there. Pick up a Aegislash merch, tea, whatever. Sounds cool, really helps out. Give this video a like. Subscribe to the channel. We just passed 4,700 subs. Getting to 5,000 before late July would be amazing. That'd be 5,000 in 1 year. Thank you so much, everyone. And leave a comment below letting me know if you like this deck or not. Comments do help boost the algorithm as much as likes, so all that does really help me out as a content creator. That being said, let's jump into this video. Let's get it. So looking at this list, it probably looks like a mess to most people. You see that there's some familiar cards in here. You got the Moltres V, which has been popping up in a lot of decks. I mean, there's a lot of dark decks. There's even Urshifu decks. And now we got it with an ADP deck. So let me kind of explain how this deck works. You have options. You can use Altered Creation GX for the 2 energies, the metal and the water, and draw extra prize cards and do extra damage. That's kind of cool because your Pokemon are not necessarily the most powerful. And you have ways to knock out your opponent's Pokemon or bring up things. So it can function very much like an ADP, Altered Creation, attack with Ultimate Ray, and then insert attacker here. It doesn't always have to be Zacian, right? Like you could even attack with an Aegislash. Aegislash doing 130 plus an additional boosted 30 can knock out something for 160 and draw an extra prize card. So where the Galarian Moltres V comes in is that ADP's biggest problem is use Altered Creation GX, your opponent smokes your ADP out of the water, and then you pass. And then your opponent attacks you. Then you attack them, then they attack you and win the game. With Galarian Moltres V, you apply additional pressure when it comes to Dire Flame Wings, because if you put this down on your first turn and get Dark Energy in your discard pile, you can use Dire Flame Wings, get an energy, use Dire Flame Wings the next turn, get an energy, so you're ready to attack with Aura Burn for 220 damage, boosted because of Altered Creation GX, and you're able to bring up other Pokemon. So, a lot of things go into this deck where it's, not only is the Galarian Moltres really important, that's why I play 3 copies in this list, it also is Dark type, which is great against Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX if you've heard about that deck. That deck's been also tearing up events. So even against like a matchup like that, you don't even need to go for the ADP. You can just use Galarian Moltres, power them up very quickly, and then attack your opponent's Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX, Gengar Mimikyu, Trevenant Dusknoir, those types of things. Now, there's also Zacian here because Ice Rider Calyrex is very popular. We got Aegislash V because Decidueye is very popular. Now, the other thing that I do want to mention is a lot of these decks are playing the Galarian ZAPDOS V for Eternatus and other matchups, so you can attack quickly, and that works a lot of the time. The issue that I have with that is I don't think you need it. I think that if you're able to get Galarian Moltres V, heavily focus on that, get Dire Flame Wings going, that you don't need to have a minimal energy attack. You just bring up 2 prize card Pokemon or 3 prize card Pokemon and knock them out with Galarian Moltres V. So in the case of Eternatus, it's more of a case of them knocking you out before you get to Ultimate Ray. You win anytime you use Ultimate Ray and bring up their 2 prize card Pokemon. We don't need Ultimate Ray if we can Dire Flame Wings altogether. Other couple techs here are Energy Switch, so you could power up your Pokemon if you attach to the wrong Pokemon or anything like that. You could also attack with Pokemon like Crobat or even Dedenne-GX because you do play Aurora Energy. Keep that in mind, that boosted damage on these Pokemon can really add up, and they have varying attack costs, so that is very important. Tool Scrapper is more or less for the Luke Metal matchup. You can knock out a Zacian that has a Cape of Toughness or a Metal Goggles if you remove them. Because your boosted damage nullifies their Luke Metal's negative damage, so it's the same amount of damage either way. that's how it kind of works. You meet in the middle. They're going to reduce damage further with Metal Goggles or increase their HP. That's where Tool Scrapper comes in, so you can have a chance in that matchup. Otherwise, it's quite unfavorable. I've also thought about adding in a Ninetales V in this deck. I've also added in Turbo Patch. Turbo Patch is great to power up your V Pokemon. Of course, you just can't boost up an ADP. But I do want to note that when I've played Metal Saucers in this build, I found that I was discarding my Metal Saucers more often than not. I know this is a coin flip card, but in the events where you get heads, it's better than discarding a Metal Saucer for no effect. There's very limited Metal Pokemon in this deck, even if you're adding a Mawile or anything like that, because the only difference that from this list and other lists is I play Aegislash, other lists play Mawile. I don't play Zapdos, other lists play Zapdos, stuff like that. I think Turbo Patch might end up being better. It's still a testing in progress thing, so I'm not 100% selling you on this card. I'm just letting you know that I personally think it's better right now. That's something that I'm willing to change in the future. And other things, too many lists are not running Marshadow. Path to the Peak can absolutely destroy this deck. I think Marshadow's Resetting Hole is a great way to go Quick Ball and use your abilities. So, should be cool. We're going to play some gameplay and see exactly what's popping with this deck list. So our opponent here is calling the coin flip. We won the coin flip. So we do want to go first with this deck. So in a normal ADP sense, we want to attach an energy, turn 2, use our Altered Creation GX whenever possible. I also love our opponent's Bidoof deck box, sleeves, all that stuff. Super fun. Let's see what we start with here. I mean, this is not a bad start. We're going to go ahead here and start with ADP. I think ADP seems like the absolute sauce to start with. So we're going to start with that. See exactly what's going on here. Our opponent's getting a full few mulligans, so it looks like we're playing against like a Rapid Strike Malamar INTELEON deck. I think, based off what we saw in the mulligans. Yes, we will definitely draw some cards. Getting the energies that we need is an absolute plus. So we're going to go Moltres here. Actually, before we go Moltres down, let's just go Quick Ball, discarding a Dark. Usually want to discard Darks for Dire Flame Wings and peep through your deck to make sure everything's all good. Zacian's a very good way to end your turn if you're not attacking, so I really like that. Got a decent bit of everything going on here. So let's go like this, Dire Flame Wings, so we can get our energy back there. We're going to go ahead here, attach the water, because water is more rare in this deck than the metal energies. Like, it's way harder to get the water out than anything else. And let's go Zacian down. No point of me playing anything else. I'm just going to go Intrepid Sword. So, yeah, you can see how this deck's absolutely busted. We got 3 energies on our first turn with using 1 Quick Ball. I mean, it was a little bit lucky on the Intrepid Sword. The Dire Flame Wings is a little bit more understandable, but next turn our opponent's going to be facing an Altered Creation GX, and that seems scary enough for them. And at this point, they're just using Keep Calling, so they're not attacking us. That's cool. If our opponent does not knock out one of our Pokemon next turn, they automatically lose the game. And that's how overpowered this deck has become. If you thought ADP was bad, I think Moltres makes this deck so much better. So let's go like this. I'm going to attach there. And at this rate, I don't even know if there's anything else I want to be doing. They have 6 cards in their hands. I honestly can't be sure of what they have in their hand. Maybe Moltres would just be the absolute play here. Or not Moltres, Marnie, because they have 6 cards. Let's lower their hand. They discard, or they shuffle back Rapid Strike Pokemon. Let's hope that they just don't have them. I don't think they're necessarily going to hit for 280 damage, but I'm uncertain of that. So as much as I have the energy there, I just need any energy to hit for Ultimate Ray. So we even have the energy switch. That's completely fine. We also have a Professor's Research. So we are going to go here for the Altered Creation GX. So now we just need to attack 3 times in order to win the game. So again, as long as our opponent does not take a knockout this turn and we could power up other Pokemon, we can just go knockout, 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 because they have no way to draw multi-prize cards. That's the big brain play here. So by default, we will just win the game as long as they can't remove our energies, as long as they can't draw multi-prize cards in a turn. That's just strictly how math works. We just attack their Pokemon. Decks like this will not have anything that can surpass 180 damage. That's our lowest attack we have on board. So unless there's some kind of maneuver that's going to stall us out of the game, or that's going to remove our energies or bring a Pokemon up, we're just vibing here. And with Akarina's Focus, they need to get a lot of Pokemon. They need to get 7 7 Pokemon in order to knock us out with a Rapid Strike Malamar, 7 cards in hand. With only 6 cards in hand, that's impossible. So this deck typically only gets knockouts out after they get knocked out, because they can use Oricorio and other things like that. So again, with 6 cards in their hand, it's impossible for them to get the knockout here. And it sucks. I mean, that's why ADP is hated by some. It takes away cool decks like this out of the formats, but that's how it's going to be sometimes. And that's why I'm trying to show you the best decks in format. If you're looking to truly be one of the most competitive players or knowledgeable in the game, that's what I aim for in my videos, where it's just like, you want to know what, this is a deck that a lot of people are playing, it's seeing a lot of success, this is a busted list for it, give it a try. And sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, but I try to be right whenever possible. So Rapid Strike Tentacles, so they're going to be doing 80 damage. Again, not enough to get the knockout there for us. So if we don't top deck an energy, they're just going to concede. Gotcha. Just because they see the same thing as us. So we're going to see exactly if we're able to win the coin flip. We won the coin flip again. Let's go. Yes, we would like to go first. That sounds busted. Let's see what we got going on here. I mean, Zacian's not a bad start with an air balloon and a Viridian Forest. We can get a top deck of a Moltres here, and that might be pretty cool. Let's see what our opponent flips over. Flips over Crobat. I'm totally cool with that. So I'm going to go Viridian Forest, discarding... Yeah. I'm going to try to play this out as nicely as possible. So let's go Viridian Forest, discarding this Metal Energy. I think that sounds cool, because then I can get that back with Turbo Patch maybe, and then get an Altered Creation, or an ADP. So let's go for a Water Energy. We do have our ADP in the deck. We're looking pretty good. We're not going to be able to, like, I don't want to go for like a Dedenne-GX or something like that and not be able to get out like an ADP just to try to get a Moltres. Like, I'm just going to go with the tried and true strategy here. So you can see that our hand here is pretty awesome. Let's see, Turbo Patch. Tails, I mean, that's cool too. I'm going to go Air Balloon on the active. I think this sounds fair. Retreat into this dude, and then I'm going to pass. Or not pass. I'm going to use Intrepid Sword. See, I almost got myself there. So, had we got the Turbo Patch heads, we would have been able to energy switch the next turn. Now, this is one of those circumstances where Metal Saucer would have been better. But maybe that Zacian would have been a Moltres, right? And then it would have not happened like this. Now, with U-turn board and it being Crobat, it makes me wonder what our opponent's playing. They might be playing a deck with Inteleon in it, because a lot of those decks have been playing U-turn board, as far as my testing's been going. So, there's an Echoing Horn. Let's see what they're playing. Oh, there's a Galarian ZAPDOS V. Interesting. I honestly can't tell what they're playing here. I'm going to go Marshadow here. I also just want to pitch this hand away. It's weird that we got into all of our energy switch. PTCGO hands, am I right? Let me know in the comments below if you ever get hands like this on PTCGO, because that sounds super fun. At this rate, I want to go Viridian Forest. We want to get Dark Energies in our discard pile in case we ever do get out that card that's Galarian Moltres. You know, we just played 3 copies and just drew into like a pretty dead hand off of, everything going on. So super fun. Let's go ahead here and go for Altered Creation GX. Now, we only have one Zacian V in play, so our opponent with their poor start is probably going to struggle a little bit with a hand like this. If we don't put V Pokemon down, we starve them for their fighting instinct. And see, I was right, they do play Inteleon. There's a Marnie. Marnie is going to be a blessing for us. Or not. I don't know why they didn't retreat there. I think that would have been a lot better for them. Again, I want to get more Dark Pokemon in our discard pile. So I'm going to go ahead here, or Dark Energy, I should say. So let's go ahead here. Let's go Aurora Energy. I'm going to go ahead here and pitch this Dark. I mean, doesn't even make sense for me to power up anything that's not this Zacian at this point. That's a good question for me to ask myself. Do I want to power up a Moltres even though our opponent can't knock out our Pokemon? I think I probably do, and I think that seems safer. I don't want to go Boss's Order because I can't knock out that Pokemon. We have the 180, that's why they should have put that to the bench. But let's go Dedenne-GX. Again, that's not going to set off their fighting instinct. So as long as we get a Moltres, I'm vibing. Cool, Moltres does Moltres things. Moltres can also just power up things like Dire Flame Wings, so I really like that. I like that we have Turbo Patch. I'm going to play Turbo Patch because I don't see any reason why not. Again, Tails, this is another situation where Metal Saucer would have been better. Again, I do like the versatility right now. I'm not for sure, though. Considering our opponent might play Reset Stamp, I am going to give them back their U-turn board because they're just going to get it back anyways. So let's pitch this away. And again, no reason for me to play Boss's Orders, no reason for me to do anything else. Let's go for the knockout here for the 180 damage. Now, since we have another Dark Energy for the Moltres, this is where things get really cool. I could just go 1, 2, 3 right here. Because this can get powered up with Dire Flame Wings the next turn, because we do have another Dark in our discard pile. And I could just attach energy for my turn, and then they're going to concede the game there as well. So, I mean, we got a lot of concessions in these videos, and it's one of those things where we got really great starts, we were powered up. You saw that the Turbo Patch, I mean, we didn't particularly get lucky on our coin flips, but at the same time, it didn't matter. I treated it as like a side bonus card. Maybe Metal Saucer is better. Let me know what you think, Metal Saucer or Turbo Patch, in the comments below. I really want to know your opinion. If you've been playing this deck, what do you think? I think myself and my testing group and Michelle and I are the only ones who are really playing Turbo Patch right now. Although I do like how Turbo Patch does, my argument is Turbo Patch works on more Pokemon, so you might have it being a live card more often, whereas something like Metal Saucer is secured on Metal-type Pokemon. So that's the argument. Let me know in the comments below which one you think. Right now, I think this list, whether you do Turbo Patch or Metal Saucers, it's probably going to be very similar. This is really a nice build of the deck. There's a few things that are weird, like I've seen Shintaro Ito play 1 ADP, 1 Naganadel Guzzlord GX. There's things like that where I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe it's in the essence of a tech toolbox. I've considered adding Ninetales V in this deck over the Tool Scrapper because it can knock out Luke Metal Pokemon while they are not really playing their Coding Metal energies. So there's a lot of changes that we can make with this deck, and it's something that I'll probably update on this channel in the future. But right now, I think this deck is inherently the most powerful deck in the format, as long as it sets up. This deck is somewhat inconsistent at doing what it wants to be doing, so do keep that in mind while you are playing this deck, that you are going to get some garbage starts. Sometimes you're going to be running hot. If you are able to make this deck super consistent and get it to do exactly what you want, getting the Moltres, the ADP, all that good stuff, then you're probably winning tournaments. In all the games where Michelle was just able to set up and chill, she basically won those games. It was more or less Michelle drew poorly. So looking at that from a deck, if you drew poorly with your deck, and most decks when they draw poorly they lose, there's nothing wrong with this deck. If this deck has a decent percentage of where it sets up, it probably just wins games. It's really, really good. So keep that in mind while you are testing this deck out. Again, I really appreciate everything. Remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 5,000 peeps. If you could tell your friends, anyone who you know who plays Pokemon, be like, hey, yo, have you actually checked into Zach's channel? It's pretty cool. That would really help me out a lot. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I'm not just trying to be like a robot or anything. Really would be super helpful. And again, leave the comment below. Let me know what you think. Again, Turbo Patch versus Metal Saucer. The discussion would be awesome. I'll be in there in the comments answering everything out too. Alright, I'm going to go edit this video. Have yourself a wonderful one. Peace out. I want to give a huge shout out to everyone who's become a channel member. It's one of those things where I appreciate every single person who watches my videos, and I mean, that's really where it counts, but for the channel members, they've gone out of their way to financially support me, and I truly appreciate that gesture. It's one of those things when I started channel memberships up on my channel, and I just didn't know if anyone was ever going to do it, so I truly appreciate everyone taking the plunge, taking a leap of trust, and investing in me as a content creator. Truly makes a difference for me each and every month. If you haven't already thought about becoming a channel member, you might want to contribute to the channel, and I do put everything back into the channel to make it the best possible place to watch for Pokemon TCG content. Again, I truly appreciate everyone. Thank you so much. Cheers. I truly appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It means the world to me. And my goal with this channel is to spread my love of the game and knowledge with our entire Pokemon TCG community. If you haven't already, help signal boost this video to other Pokemon TCG fans by liking it, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Hopefully we reach our goals really soon. Check out this recommended video, and have yourself a great day. Thanks.